Yeah. New Born J-Lo back in the booth, man. Me and my nigga AD. My nigga Smooth, man. AD on the beat, man. Some other town niggas on the block. My nigga TD, D-Stone, J-Rock, Lil Danger, RPHD, man. Yeah.
Cool. So, it says, indeed, just 2 weeks following the murder of SM, the suspected leader of the faction Gangster Disciples, the alleged shooters discussed payment from OTF and banks. Now, that's a different situation where they're talking about the alleged killer of the alleged killer of DURK's brother D-Thing, right? And that's Stefan Mack.
Chat, what's going on, man? I'm back with another video. Chat, I said I'm back with another video, and it's real dark in these YouTube streets right now. So chat, we finna get into this DJ Academics talking about Lil Durk case, and it's a lot going on. As far as I know, y'all know I did some content on a little bit of it. DJ Academics dropped talking about how Durk people just left him behind. Ain't nobody been posting him. The boys he thought it was his brothers ain't said his name in no songs, ain't none of that, bro. Like, it's like they just really left Durk behind, and even I said that, like, you don't even see no free Durk posts or none of that, bro. Like how they was doing Thug. It was free Thug this, free Thug that. Man, people getting Thug tatted. Who, like ain't nobody did that for my boy Durk, bro. They ain't did that for the voice, bro. I don't even think the hero even been saying his name in those songs. Lil Baby. It was the voice in the hero, remember? And the hero ain't tried to save him, nothing. He like, I ain't getting involved. I mean, I can understand that, kind of, but I don't understand it. Because if this your boy and y'all locked in like I thought y'all was, doing all that music, and I thought y'all was real live like brothers. Like, but guess not, mud. But we're gonna go and get into this content, man. You feel me? And it's GS the Don. You feel me, mud? And yeah, bro, we're gonna get into this content with DJ Academics. And I guess he tuned in with Whack 100. We ain't gonna watch the whole thing, it's long. It's long as hell. So we ain't gonna watch the whole thing, but so far I know that they trying to take Durk to trial. I mean, Durk trying to hurry up and take it to trial before they can build any more evidence, you feel me? Which is good in his case, you know, because they feel like, you know, well, I guess they saying Durk feel like that, you know, let's hurry up and take it to trial before they get to getting any deeper and any more information and trying to get people to flip and snitch on him and all that. But let's get into this content, mud.
8 minutes. I'll bring the boys in, or maybe the girls. I don't know. Maybe the girls. Okay. So in some new documents that were filed, I want to give you the latest, and I want to give you the breakdown in, you know, short form before I get to the long form document read. So Durk is at a place where, remember that his trial was supposed to start in October. It got pushed back essentially to January. He essentially didn't agree with it, but everybody else agreed with it. Why did he want a quicker trial? He wanted a quicker trial because he is the person who they claim with the least amount of evidence, with the he said, she said, and I told you they will not lock him up permanently in a federal trial unless they have some cooperators. So the way that he could try to counteract that is, while they don't, they might have one or two cooperators that they listed as quote unquote co-conspirators and didn't reveal their name, but they don't have some of the key guys yet. So you know what DURK is doing? DURK is like, fuck that. Let's get the trial immediately, that before you could threaten these guys and flip them and give them more information that they flip on me, you guys got to come with what you got. Obviously, some of the guys who are accused of being shooters, and there might be some more evidence on them, they're like, well, we're not going to rush the trial.
Chad, I just really can't believe how these dudes really just, like, he helped these dudes out and everything, bro. If I ain't mistaken, the dude on this picture with him is the dude that wore a wire on him. And the day this dude got out of jail, he gave him $50,000. Don't quote me on this. Or $100,000. And gave him a business. He didn't give him the money to go start the business. He gave him a little business, storefront, whatever, and like $50,000 to $100,000. And this dude was wearing a wire. Wearing a wire, bruh. Like, where's the love? Where's the love, bro?
And go sink our entire chances of getting out that quickly, especially when we could probably try to suppress some evidence. We could do this and third. So there's two diametrically opposed strategies. If you're one of the shooters that they have dead to rights, or you're, say, OTF Vonnie, who they believe bought the gloves and ski mask and bought the accessories that the shooters used, you want to delay the trial. Why do you want to delay the trial? Because you want to try to suppress some of this shit. You don't want all this stuff being admitted into evidence, because you can be like, hey, this is just a honest. Listen, I know, 2022, we're out of COVID times, but it's like, hey, this was our procedure. We usually move around this for incognito. Make up whatever excuse you want. So that would be their demeanor to things, right? Like, hey, we're gonna whatever. Okay, cool. DURK wants to get the trial immediately. DURK is like, yo, shit, I know y'all ain't got everybody flipping on me. Maybe y'all got one or two, but them one or two y'all got right now don't got that much of a tie to me. I got plausible deniability. Y'all got to convict me beyond a reasonable doubt. I could explain it away. Why were you in LA? Well, I went to do a podcast. I went to do a video shoot. I went to do this. Why'd you go on the thing with him? Well, this is a guy I've been rolling around a lot with. Oh, well, the guy said that you told him this. Well, I didn't tell him that. There was a general sentiment that, why would I have to tell people to go kill somebody for Vaughn when everybody knew that Vaughn got killed? These guys are from some of his blocks. These guys had more reason to do it. I'm not saying you would point the finger, but he had some plausible deniability, right? So he wants to go to trial quick. They want to go to trial later. The judge subsequently agreed with like pretty much the other dudes, and essentially they're going to be going to trial like they set for January, but it might even be delayed more. Now, in that, because they're not going to go to trial now, DURK is proceeding with what's called a motion to dismiss. DURK is saying this case is bullshit, and by the way, a bunch of other inmates are saying, nah, this case is bullshit. Y'all don't got what y'all need to really prosecute us. Now, what motion to dismiss on its face value is that, listen, there isn't enough probable cause, given especially discovery or any other information that's came out, that would warrant this case to be heard by a jury. Okay, keep in mind, let me give you the levels of proof that you need to get to a place where you go to trial. So, bingo. For usually for a detainment, you need reasonable suspicion. We reasonably have a suspicion that you committed a crime. What could that mean? Yo, there's a nigga with I don't know, a scar on his left cheek. Right, I know it says right, but okay, this is right on your screen. There's a nigga with a scar on his right cheek that I saw walking away from the body. Immediately, a police is going to stop you, and they're going to have the authority to stop you and detain you because of reasonable suspicion. Usually in most states, again, this is a federal case, but I'm just giving you some legal basis. In most states, reasonable suspicion will allow the police to at least stop you, detain you, and identify you while they continue that investigation. Now, the further step up from reasonable suspicion will be probable cause. Probable cause could be on face value, especially if you're driving a car. You should know this. Probable cause is why they're going to go in your car without a warrant. Now, when you drive on, state roads or even federal roads, or even municipal roads, all roads, period, there is laws throughout the land that says that if a cop deems that there is probable cause, he could search your car. He doesn't have to call a judge, whatever. Now, it's only for cars. If there's probable cause that you got a dead body inside your house, they got to call a judge. Got to. Okay? Now, I'm giving you these situations because I'm trying to explain. I want everything to be mad simple to y'all, right? So that's probable cause. How does probable cause happen with arrests? Now, probable cause means there is more than there is evidence that suggests that a crime not only was committed, because that's reasonable suspicion, right? It suggests that there might be evidence of a crime, or you might be the culprit that committed the crime. That usually is the law for people to arrest. So, for example, if, the cop shows up, somebody's dead, you got blood all over your shirts, they could arrest you on probable cause, and you have a knife in your hand with blood on it. They don't have to ask the judge. They could arrest you on probable cause. Now, here's the thing about much more intricate cases and cases that also involve, like, for example, federally, because there isn't like a federal police department. Yes, I know we have the FBI, but they're not like municipal. Probable cause is usually not determined by a FBI agent, a HSI agent, or any agent of any federal bureau. They usually submit what's called a complaint, or they usually submit some type of affidavit, and the probable cause is usually enacted on by what's called a AUSA, a prosecutor. So, for example, just to be clear, in state in anything below federal, if someone's dead, you got a knife in your hand dripping of blood, your shirt's full of blood, they're gonna arrest you, and they could just charge you with murder, and then the prosecutors have to deal with that, right? The reason why the feds have such a high conviction rate is because you won't get a charge until the AUSA agrees with the investigator. They have to sign off on the complaints, or they have to present a possible bill of charges, which is called an indictment, to a grand jury that gets signed off on by majority vote, which is usually 23 people, 12 has to vote that there is a true bill. Okay, why did I explain that to you? Because in the event that you get charged, sometimes information could come out, or maybe you have a response to the charges you got to say, hey, why you charge me? Here's the explanation for this. This shouldn't have been a charge. I'm motioning to dismiss it because it's not valid, right? DURK tried that before because he had claimed that they used lyrics to present to a grand jury who came back with an indictment, right? The indictment is the bill of charges. And they said those lyrics were recorded before the death of Lil Pop. The prosecutors changed it expeditiously and came back with another indictment that didn't include lyrics, because the lyrics indeed were not referring to Lil Pop. Okay, so where are we now? DURK, after realizing that this trial is going to get postponed, is now once again challenging the validity of these charges. He did it with a motion to dismiss. And there's a couple other inmates who are mimicking that with their lawyers, but they're saying that, hey, listen, y'all don't have enough evidence that suggests that I had nobody killed. How do you know that I told somebody to go kill somebody? What's the fuck y'all talking about? So the prosecutor has to respond to that. And also, because DURK is constantly going forward with asking for a bond, they keep giving additional reasons why they think DURK should not be let out on a bond. Okay, so there's two issues: dismiss the charges fully, but even if the charges aren't dismissed, at times if the charges look weak, the prosecutor could, no, not prosecutor, the judge could say, I'm going to let this person out on a bond, especially when you're offered millions of dollars, this, that, and third. By the way, this happened in the Diddy case, and I'm not going to lie, that was a huge thing where Diddy offered $50 million, and somehow the prosecutors were still able to convince the judge that Diddy was so dangerous, you shouldn't give him a $50 million bond. So let's get into some of this paperwork here, and I'm going to read through it. Again, I gave you the short, so now you're going to get...
And you can like, comment, subscribe, and we're going to keep getting high, mud. And at the end of the day got in.